that we're going to do this thing from 1 a.m. until the day is done. Yeah, we have a little bit of fun to learn a little bit. Yeah, we think that we the but it's Friday night, so you know that we got to talk about something to get our minds right. And I'm here, and you're here too. So we gonna do what we got to do. He who fronts on this will never get far, but we got to do this thing because we know the farthest that we get, we got to make hits. And a hit can be anything that's totally legit. And I am scams, I'm never running, trying to have a little bit of fun. You and me gunning. Yeah, basketball, I'ma pass you the rock and you gonna make the shot and everybody's going to wait. Listen for a second, take a second to record, yeah, a minute to get in it. I'ma win it just like the championship every year. I'm the last one that wins a game round here. So what you wanna be? I'm hiding my sickness so nobody can see. And I'm acting like I didn't get hurt in the game, but y'all see me walking a little funny in. All right, y'all. Tonight, Friday night, it's the Daily Go Getimism show. And we are talking about trying to hide your pain and your sickness. Trying to act like it don't hurt. Have you ever known somebody who tried to act like they weren't in pain? You know, when you're in serious pain, trying to act like you're not in pain is not an easy thing to do. Some people play it off really well, but you have to think about the reasons that they even have to act like they're not in pain. I mean, think about it. If you've done it in your own life, think about the reasons that you tried to act like something didn't hurt. And that's whether it was a physical pain or an emotional pain. You know how painful it is to try to hide when somebody has hurt you. I ain't talking about punch you in the face or gave you a rib shot, punch in the stomach, or took your legs from up under you. I'm talking about when somebody has hurt your feelings and hurt your feelings bad. You know how it goes. Now, most men are conditioned, are brought up, are taught to act like they're never in pain, that they're never hurt, or that nothing has really fazed them. Y'all know, all the men know what I'm talking about. We was always taught to suck it up, to be a man about it, walk it off, you know what I mean? Walk it off. Yeah, you can walk off the physical pain. Not really. You know how it goes. There's levels to this thing. Levels to this thing. But we were taught not to show weakness. Like showing your weakness as a man is like a cardinal sin. It's the worst thing that you can do. So I want to make some parallels to this thing because we're seeing a whole lot of hurt hiding, tucking the pain under the sheets, trying to act like it's not there. We wearing the veil. It's all good. What up? What up, T. Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And what's that? Quentin Gabrielle? What's good? And kind Bud Dank Nugs. I think it's important not to give people that power because you just end up bathing in the idea of being a victim. Okay, so we can talk about this. And like I was starting to say, we can make some parallels to the animal universe versus the human universe. Out there in the wild, if you have a serious damage to yourself physically, if you're an animal out in the jungle, out in the forest, in the woods, out there in public, out there in the world, you know that if something is wrong with your legs or if you are in too much pain, you are probably going to starve or become prey. Because if you can't run, you can't get away from predators that are bigger and stronger and deadlier than you are. You also can't hunt and gather and eat. You can't prey on other animals if you're hurt, if you're too hurt or you're sick. So it's very important for animals to stay healthy. because the minute that they lose their health, they lose their ability to be able to take care of themselves. And there are no hospitals out in the animal kingdom. There are no animals that can take care of you until you get well. The animals can't nurse each other back to health. So if an animal becomes prey and it gets away, it may be all bittersweet, because let's say if a hyena gets into a fight with a lion can beat a hyena no matter what. A hyena is a formidable foe, but they are more of a formidable foe in packs. The only time that lions have to work in packs is when they're female lions and they're hunting bigger animals than they are. Other than that, they can take on most animals one on one. So if a lion goes up against a hyena one on one, the lion is going to win almost 100% of the time, unless that lion is hurt or sick. And even then, it might still be able to beat the hyena, even though the hyena has a stronger PSI bite force than a lion. But a lion is used to fighting all the time. So they fight. That's male or female. They're used to fighting all the time. So they will fight you to the death. Well, if the hyena gets away from the lion, it survives the lion attack. But, lions go for the spine and they go for the jugular. So the hyena may have gotten away because lions don't like to eat hyenas. I guess there's something about the way that they taste. They don't really want to eat them. They kill them and they make an example of them like, yo, let me show y'all hyenas. Don't be messing around with me. Roar, roar. Prr, prr. But the hyena may get away and live another day, but another day might be all it lives for, because it can't, if it doesn't have his legs, or if it can't really run, then it can't hunt. And no other hyenas have the time to take care of a sick hyena. So they can wish him luck, like, yo, man, I'm glad you got away, but your days are pretty much numbered. So you might have won the battle, but you lost the war. Now, I'm saying all of this to illustrate that out in the animal kingdom, you can't afford to be sick. You can't afford to be hurt. Sickness and hurt and pain will take you out of the game. It will cost you your life. Human beings take care of their hurt. They take care of their sickness. They're sick people. We have hospitals. We have nurses. We have doctors. We have shamans. We have people who care. So we protect our sick and our hurt from suffering any more damage. Yet, psychologically, we try to pretend that we're not sick and we're not hurt, because we honestly believe psychologically that other people will try to hurt us more, or will basically hurt us more. Because when I think about people who hide the fact that they're sick, and I've known many people, unfortunately, that died or allowed themselves to die because they didn't want to admit to anybody or reveal or disclose that they were sick. So the thing about not disclosing that you're sick or that you're in a grave condition is that you can't get help from anybody. Human beings have to communicate with each other. All animals and all creatures communicate with themselves in a certain type of way, but we don't know exactly how they communicate as far as what they're telling each other. We do know that they have nonverbal communication, and whatever verbal communication they have, we don't understand it. We can't decipher it. But we do know how our verbal communication works. And many of us know how our physical or body language style of communication works also. So with that being said, what is the fear that we have of disclosing when we're sick? We know that it's part of our ego when we don't want to show anybody that our feelings have been hurt. Now, I started off this show by talking about how men are conditioned to hide their pain, how hide their hurt, and often hide their disappointment. But guess what? Nowadays, in today's society, we have a lot of single mothers out here. And they are learning to hide their pain and their hurt and their grief and their sorrow, just like men are taught to hide. Now, what's the effect that that's having on our families? What's the effect that it's having on our communities? What's the effect that it's having in our societies? You know, I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? Proud black man, proud, black and proud, you know. And I pay attention to a lot of the shit that we do. I do. I pay close attention to the psychological condition of black people. And it's very disheartening. Now, some non-white people might think I'm about to start bitching, but I mean, it is what it is. We have a lot of problems. And one of the biggest problems in the black community is that we have to always act like we're not hurt. We have to always act like we're not in pain. And we even ridicule each other when we show our pain because we figure that we're taking it too far. Like, you can't be blaming the white man. You can't be blaming the world for what's going on with you. You got to take care of yourself. Meanwhile, we're in the worst condition of everybody else with that same mentality. But going back to the whole single mother thing, because this is a serious thing. Not serious because they don't know how to take care of their children, because black women be holding it down. And I'm not even going to just say I'm black women. All single mothers are holding it down. But here's the thing that separates black women from all the other women. And I'm seeing this trend, this wave of what they call accountability. Accountability. I don't like to always talk about how things happened back in the day, because a lot of it is like old wives' tales. A lot of it is like urban legends. A lot of it is like straight up lies. You know, like, yeah, we used to have to walk to school in 3 feet of snow, you know what I mean? And it was like 4 miles both ways. Man, that ain't necessarily true. How about it's straight up lies? But we did used to have to go to school when it snowed. That's a fact. But when it comes to single mothers, right? Back in the day, when a woman had to raise her children by herself, we blamed the man. We blamed the father. That's a fact. Like, yo, what happened to the dad? Because it was a man's responsibility to make sure that he takes care of his children. Straight up and down. And it still is. But here's what's happening nowadays. Nowadays, I'm hearing mad niggas blame the woman for being a single mother. Oh, now it's all about her choices that she made. Oh, you chose to be with Pookie and Ray Ray. Oh. Am I the only one that's hearing that shit? Because I'm hearing it a lot. You chose to be with Pookie and Ray Ray. So don't start bitching. I'm like, so every father that's absent is a Pookie and Ray Ray? But we ain't going to blame Pookie and Ray Ray? Because back in the day, we blamed Pookie and Ray Ray for being a Pookie and a Ray Ray. So I'm saying all of that to say that with single mothers having to hold it down for their families, now they have to hide their disappointment. They have to hide their hurt. They have to hide their pain. They have to hide their sorrow. They have to hide their regret. So they're having to do the hyper-masculine trials of hiding their hurt. So what kind of gumbo are we cooking up now? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Pretending that you're not hurt or sick. Pretending that you're not hurt or sick. All right, let me I'm going to do my intro. Then we're going to get dressed. I'm going to shout y'all out. And we're going to get the ball rolling. You can call into this show. This is a totally uncensored show. You can say whatever you want to say. Just keep in mind that YouTube doesn't allow you to say anything that you want to say. So you might not be able to say everything that you want to say in the chat, but we have a number that you can call, and you can call in and you can say whatever you want. No censorship. I don't interrupt you. I let you get your shit off. I don't only give you a little bit of time to speak. You can do your thing. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's a number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on it. Do the damn, do the damn thing. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I am your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It's going down tonight. Friday night, the 6th of September. And we're talking about pretending like you're not hurt or sick. Pretending like you are not sick or hurt. You got it, Mr. Banana? That's what we talking about. Mr. Ajay says, depends on the woman who cares. Steve Jr. What about everybody else's pain? What about yours? All right. Living, Love, and Light was good. Red Hulk, Green Hulk, the Lion King. Hallie, or should I say Haley XYZ? You should know what we're talking about now. Tiffany Williams, go find a woman, sir. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to do that. You go find a man, I'll go find a woman. I mean, you know, it sounds like a pretty good trade-off to me. All right. I'm just shouting y'all out, man. You know what I mean? Okay. Kind Bud Dank Nug says, I think it's important to not give people that. Okay. All right. So I think I got everybody. Andrew says, I need Jesus Christ. I guess we all need him. We all need a little Jesus. Listen, living on edge slots. Hurt from what? I'm blessed and highly favored. That's what's up. All right, let's do this. Let's get dressed, baby. Put on a uniform. It's time to get. I said, put on a uniform. It's time to go to. I said, put on your uniform. It's time to go to. I said, put on your uniform. It's time to go to work. We about to do this thing, pretending that we not sick or hurt. Put on your uniform. It's time to go to work. We talking about pretending that you're not sick or hurt. I'm going to put on my bones. I said, I put on my bones. I said, I put on my bones. I said, I put on my bones. All right, let's get it like this. Yeah, that's good. All right, y'all put on your uniform too. And this is what we're going to do for those of y'all who never been here before. You can choose one. Which one do y'all want to put on? Is it the left, the middle, or the right? The left, the middle, or the right? These are genuine cow bone necklaces. Cow bone. You see that shine? These are not beads. These are bones. not beads, not bones. All right. Dimples D says right. Living on edge slot says middle. All right. What else y'all got? We got one for the middle, one for the right, one for the middle, one for the right. This one is the left, two for the right. T Carry right says the one on the right. This the one for the middle. All right. And this is the one on the left. Living Lover says right. It looks like right is going to win. It looks like, you know what? Right is going to win. Right is going to win. It ain't no sin. The right has won. All right. Stick your neck out. Stick your neck out for son. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's get you outfitted with the ocular proof. Proof that you was here and you was uniform ready. All right, here we go. Hold on. Yeah. Get a good shot. I mean, liking the way it looks when we take a stiz in. I don't know. I think that one's kind of blurry. Let's do it again. Yeah. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a... There you go. There you go. Look at you. Look at you. Looking pretty. Looking lovely. Looking beautiful. Looking suave. Debonair. Handsome. All of y'all looking fly. Y'all looking like a Friday night at the club in the spot. Yeah, we gonna go out there and we all look hot. Yeah, Friday night club or the spot. We gonna go on about here. We outside. It's looking hot. Everybody looking good. Take a screenshot. You know, on Friday night, DG show was hot and we was looking good. We was looking fly. Yeah, we gonna pick up all the girls. Got to get the guys. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. So let's get it popping. Let's get it popping, yo. That's what we talking about tonight. Pretending like you're not sick or not hurt. Pretending like you're not sick or not hurt. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all. I've spent a lifetime acting like I didn't have any pain. I've been forced to act like nothing hurt me or nothing fazed me or whatever. You know, I'm not even sure if I was taught to do that. But somewhere along the line, I learned that it was a necessary thing to do. The one of the pitfalls about doing that is that after a while, people think you don't care about anything. They think that you don't really care about them personally. They think that you don't really, you know, like feelings and emotions just run off of your back like water on a duck. What up, Archer? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. See, we have a call on the line. A call on the line already. Do we? Now, look, let me let y'all know before we bring the caller on the line, and this is no disrespect to the caller. A lot of times people call in just to talk shit, just to troll a little bit, just to, you know, get their shit off. I don't know if this person is going to do that. And but I just wanted to prep y'all for what could happen. They may not want to talk about anything that's relevant to the topic. But I did give them the green light to call in and, you know, express themselves and say whatever they wanted to say. So without any further ado, caller with the last numbers 0579. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good? Six minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Well, maybe they're just listening, because you can just listen to the show by calling in. So maybe they don't want to speak. All right, it's all good. It's all good. But we're going to speak. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Jesus is my hope. What up, Jesus is my hope? Living on Edge Slot says, never let them see you sweat like you don't have feelings. People do treat me like that. Never let them see you sweat. That comes from an old right guard commercial with Marvin Hagler. May he rest in peace. The late, great champion middleweight Marvin Hagler. Never let him see you sweat. Well, I'm tell you like this. There's a time in every person's life, male or female, where you're going to have to show your emotions. Because after a while, it starts to build up in a certain type of way where, you're going to have to let it out. You may let it out voluntarily or you may let it out involuntarily. But at some point in your life, you're going to be put in a position where you're going to have to show whether you care or not, or whether you love or not, or whether you are hurting or not, or whether you're in pain a lot or not, or whether you're sick. Now we all have our personal reasons for trying to hide that or trying to conceal that. Maybe sometimes we're on the mend or we have a way of getting on the mend. So, we're just trying to hold on until we can start getting better. And I'm talking about people who are sick. I don't know about y'all, but I've lost a lot of people because they didn't reveal that they were sick. I mean, that cancer, you know how everybody says, fuck cancer. And I say it too. Well, the reason that most of us say fuck cancer is because a lot of us have lost people to cancer, and we didn't find out that they had cancer until the cancer had already spread. It started to metastasize, and now they already at stage 4, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there might have been something that we could do about it had they revealed their condition earlier. Now, when you get a diagnosis of a terminal disease, a terminal illness, a terminal condition, normally they bring the hospitals, if you're diagnosed at a hospital, they bring in a social worker who advises you of your rights of disclosure. So you have the right to not have your records or your condition exposed, or should I say disclosed. In other words, you don't have to tell your family or even your spouse what's going on with you. Or you can choose to reveal it. And a lot of people in my life have chosen to keep it on the low. Like, nope. Ain't saying nothing. My stepdad was in and out of the hospital for a couple of years. In and out of the hospital. We would go see him. Never saw a doctor. No matter how long we were in that room, and we would be there all day. No doctors. Nurses, yep. They come and check his vitals and all that kind of shit. Next thing you know, he's getting discharged. He's coming home. Never saw a doctor. Because if a doctor comes in the room, then of course we're going to start asking questions, and then the doctor will tell us what's going on without telling us. Oh, well, I can't speak to you about that. Well, what can't you speak to me about? So it's kind of like during visiting hours, ain't going to be no doc. So are you a Santiago? That's interesting. That's interesting that you would ask a question like that. No, not a Santiago. But it's interesting that you asked a question like that because a friend of mine with the last name Santiago died yesterday. He passed yesterday. From what I understand, a heart attack. Died suddenly, 49 years old. It's interesting that you asked about Santiago. Maybe you know a little bit more than I know you know. Could be just a coincidence, right? Out of all, I'm definitely not Hispanic. But, yeah. Coincidence? Could be. What up, Blood Fart? John Ross. He said, John Ross says, yo, Saquon was cooking tonight. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. 3 touchdowns, baby. You know what I mean? He is definitely an Eagle now. That was a good game, even though I don't like good games. I like blowouts. I hate God. Just kidding. What's up? What's up with you? What's that? It's Smitty. Condolences. Thank you. What issue are you talking about? Yeah, you mean y'all just gotta listen. Just keep listening. What up, Kevin Mackin? And he says, I'm in that position, son. And yes, I'm in pain. And yes, I'm sick, but also tough as shit and resilient. But there's nothing wrong with being tough and resilient. But there's also nothing wrong with letting people know that you hurting. And the only reason I say that is because when you don't let anybody know that you're hurting or that you're in pain or that you're sick, you can't use them as a resource. You may know people who can help you for real, for real. You never know who somebody who you know may know. They may know somebody in Asia, Africa, South America, somebody who can help you in the condition that you are. That's why people who suffer, that's why we have certain groups, focus groups, health groups, you know, like Alcoholics Anonymous. All of them suffer. All of them are suffering with addiction. And so they have groups that help them help each other. So they don't feel like they're alone, because when you feel isolated, then it actually makes you sicker. It makes it harder for you to heal, because your anxiety levels start to go up, and then it has an adverse effect on your immune system to be able to fight off diseases and shit. So hiding the fact that you're sick is not a good thing, because you're going to get sicker, you know, and hiding your sickness makes you dependent more on health professionals, and they can't always help. And be honest with you, a lot of them don't want to help. I would hate to have to totally depend on a doctor or a nurse for my condition, because you know what that means? Your ass is grass. Because they ain't going to do nothing but milk you until your insurance is gone, and then. So if you don't get fixed before your insurance gives up on you, because once your insurance runs out, you can best believe ain't no health professional going to do shit for you. It's a business, and you will become familiar with that fact when you don't have the money. People who don't have money can't get well, just like people who don't have money can't stay out of jail if it becomes a legal situation. But you know how it goes. Thanks for coming through, Kevin. Appreciate you, my dude. All right, what we got? V, what up? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. And Thiago, thanks for coming through. John Ross says, my fantasy team is going crazy. Word. All right. I could never get into fantasy football. Oh, God. Here we go. John says, will you ever add a mustache to your chin strap? What, I don't have a mustache? The fuck, are you blind? Hezekiah Swick says, big guy, what are your beliefs? The sun and the universe. Those are pretty much my beliefs. Listen, man, let me just tell y'all like this. I believe in God. I believe that I have a special personal relationship with God. I don't really believe too much in organized religion, even if I believe in the principles of organized religion. But I'm not going to church. I'm not going to mosques. I'll go if you invite me, and I'll probably enjoy myself. I actually like going to church because I like the choir. I like the word, hearing the word. I like that shit. I don't really like going to the mosque because they're not really giving the word. It's like, it's all right. Culturally, I can't get into it. And believe me, I've tried. But yeah, I believe that there's a God, and I believe that he controls everything that we say, do, think, feel, everything that happens. And I give him credit for that, good and bad. I believe that he has a plan, but that's me. All right. Living Love and Light says, if a one-time encounter with protection leaves you unexpectedly pregnant, should you tell the person or should you keep it to yourself? Well, nowadays we say, what do we say? What do you say? It's a woman's choice, right? You can't tell a woman what to do with her body, right? So, you know. OB says, why, son? Why, son, what? Wig says, what's up? What's up, my nigga? I'm white as can be. Yeah, you white and saying nigga. Bloodfart says, Wigs, you are fun. Okay. Just scrolling through live, showing love, you know. Jackie Jackson says, there's only one way to everlasting life or hell. Jesus Christ, Lord. Jesus Christ is Lord and he loves you. That's what's up. Levon Simonian says, Wigs, what the fuck is Wigs is racist? Okay. Damn, man, y'all gotta spell racist right. Bloodfart says, Wigs, you are okay. All right. All right, y'all on some other shit. Okay, cool. Whatever. Please do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I am your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. And we are talking about trying to pretending that you're not hurt or sick. Pretending that like you're not hurt or sick. Bloodfart says, son, play the triangle, please. All right, give me a minute. All right, I'll play the triangle. Seka Sala says, do you make your cow bone change yourself? No, I got a cow bone maker. And she's crazy dope at it. Yeah. But trying to pretend that you're not hurt or sick. How many of you have done it? When was the last time you've done it? Are you doing it right now? I suspect that a lot of people are hiding their pain and their sickness right now. I'll bet you that 90% of us, at least, that are here right now are probably dealing with some type of physical condition, some type of health condition that we're either anxious about, curious about, but don't want to really. Some people are afraid to find out what's wrong with them. They know something is wrong. They might have been in pain. They may have been, you know, they may see blood in their stool. They may have troubles keeping their food down. You know, they throwing up all the time and they ain't bulimic. You know, you may be wondering what's going on with yourself. Some people are more afraid of the diagnosis than they are of the actual condition. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Imagine being more afraid of the doctor telling you what's wrong than actually feeling what's wrong. So you've been feeling what's wrong for months. Okay, let's say weeks, months, a year or two. You know something is wrong, but you've been putting on a good face. You know, when you're by yourself, it's causing you a lot of anxiety. You're tripping over this shit. But you're like, I ain't trying to go to the doctor. I ain't trying to have no bad news. No bad news. Like the Wicked Witch of the West in the Wiz. No bad news. Well, if you're more afraid of the diagnosis than you are of the actual pain, then it's like a double whammy. You got two things that you're dealing with, and neither one of those two things are good for you, but they're fueling each other in a negative way. Better says, hey man, it's been a while. What up, Better? I'm glad that the while has ended. Glad you're here. V says physical sick or spiritual sick? Both. I'm really talking about emotionally sick. I'm sure that even more of us, if we're not dealing with a physical pain, somebody is dealing with some emotional pain. You know, it could be the loss of a loved one. It could be a breakup. It could be some disappointment of some kind. You know, we all have goals, aspirations. You know, we have dreams. And one of the worst things that can ever last in your life is the feeling that you're never going to get the things that you really, really want. That's hell. I mean, really, that's hell. We talk about the hell being down below and being hot and burning eternity. Eternally. That ain't hell. Hell is any state of mind where you are in serious need and you cannot get. My late great cousin Simon, he used to always say, because he was an old head, he used to always say, hell is the state of needing and not being able to get. All you need to be in hell is to need, genuinely need, and not be able to get. No resources, no supplies, no products, no nothing. So it's tough. So if you need love, and affection, I'm not even talking about sex, but genuine love, caring, affection, companionship, a good friend, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can relate to, somebody who will listen to you, and you can't get that. That's a lonely position. It ain't no fun. But there are many people who are experiencing that right now. Some of them are right here. And we may have all been through it at one time. But the thing is, did you put it out there? Did you let people know how you were feeling? Or did you keep it to yourself? Like, well, nah, I'll deal with it. I'm just in a funk for a minute. I'm just, I'm dealing with some things. But I'll be all right. And, it's fucked up when you think you're going to be all right, or you say you're going to be all right, and it's taking too long to be all right. Baker baked. Oh, man. Baker bakes. Oh, wait a minute. Life says, so bad, I can't hide it. Whole family passed over 3 years. Moms was slow. Today we lost a pet. Life is pain. Buddhists got that right. Man, I hate that you're going through that. I do. I hate that you're going through that. I've lost some people this year. Lost my uncle, lost my best friend, and I lost a friend yesterday. Now, the friend that I lost yesterday, I wasn't close to. Hung out with him a few times, knew him, interacted with him a lot on social media. But, when somebody that you just interacted with the day before passes, and it's like, and they weren't sick, and they weren't a victim of violence, it does. It in a way, you want to shake it off. Like, it wasn't like that was my man's. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. You still feel that, because whenever somebody passes, selfishly, but realistically, you start wondering, if the dominoes are falling, how is your personal domino stopping the rest of the dominoes from falling? Or is that happening at all? Like, if you wonder, when is your number going to be up? It makes you wonder. It's a natural thing to wonder, because we don't know. We know when our birthday is, but we don't know our death day. Some people do. Kinda. People on death row kind of know. But even they get a reprieve sometimes, or a stay of execution. It keeps getting pushed back. But most of us don't know the day that is going to happen. So there can be a lot of anxiety and sorrow and regret leading up to it. A lot of fear. So, life, I'm really sorry that you're going through that, or that you've been through that. Hold your head, man, and don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Too many of us are conditioned to act like we don't need nobody, don't want nobody. It's too many of us doing that, and it ain't cool. It ain't cool. All right. Okay. Baker's Baked says, why you got on so many necklaces? You mean 2? Or you counting this one too? All right. Well, I like 2. But little do you know, you're wearing one too. Let me show you a picture. I took this earlier. That's you. So that's our uniform. We wear cow bones. These are cow bone necklaces. They're called struggle beads. I call them struggle beads. This is for all my people out there, fighting their demons, trying to make it, trying to do better, trying to improve themselves, trying to improve their condition, trying to help somebody out, trying to raise the next level, trying to advance a little bit, just trying to make yesterday. I'm sorry, trying to make today better than yesterday and tomorrow a little bit better today. Little inchworm. Struggle beads, baby. The struggle is real. But it doesn't always have to be demoralizing. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean that you have to be sad. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean that you don't ever experience happiness, joy, satisfaction, or contentment. It doesn't mean that. Life says, as I get older, I realize that getting old is more real than anyone could have imagined. Real hope and perseverance. That's what we learn. That's what we really learn. I like that. Charles, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Living Love and Light says everything is going to be all right. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I say it every day, no matter what. X from them 18 says, you got hair on the bottom of your head, but no hair on top of your head. Well, give that man a cigar. Put a scratch and sniff a sticker on his paper. He got it. He got the whole thing right. He got the whole truth in his hands. He got the whole truth in it. Hold on. He got the whole truth in his hand. 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 He got the truth and the understanding in his hand. He got the truth and the understanding in his hand. Got the truth and the understanding in his hand. Got the truth and understanding in his hand. You go, boy or girl. Life says it's like every 20 years, whole groups of generations fall off. Word. Maurice says, I like that symbolism. Man, we trying. The struggle is, you know, for me, the struggle is all about trying. And you know how some people get over positive and they say things like, no, we don't think like trying, think like succeeding. I'm like, well, what can you succeed at before you try? How do you learn anything new without trying? How do you get from step one to the final step? How do you fight the boss before you try to climb up the ranks? There's nothing wrong with the word trying. I understand that some people don't understand how deep trying is, but you don't go one day without trying. I don't care how good you are at something, you're trying. You're trying. If you compete at anything, you're trying. What are you trying to do? You're trying to win. You're trying to place well. You're trying to make it to the next step, the next level. There's nothing wrong with trying. It's a great thing. August says, oh, an exorcist? Nah, we ain't doing that. Okay, you know what? Maybe we should start exercising some of these bitch ass niggas coming on this channel trying to troll. I'm not even talking about you. Yeah, but I need to exercise them out. Let me get the triangle. Let me see if I can triangle them out. Bad spirits. 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 Yes. Bad spirits. Bad spirits. I get rid of you with the skull and bones. I get rid of you with the skull and bones. Matter of fact, let's put on the skull and bones. Yeah. All right. Okay. Life says, that's all we can strive for. I dig the beads meaning. Struggle is there whether you like it or not. Good to acknowledge that and keep going. Facts. Good talking, man. I appreciate you, Life. Thanks for coming through. Very inspirational. Bloodfart says, when life gives you lemons, eat them whole and don't break eye contact. So life aren't fucking around. I never heard it put that way. I'm digging it. Living Loving Life says, my mother asked me the other day if I was okay, and to be honest, I'm not. I'm afraid because nothing in my life looks familiar right now. Man, you know, I was talking to my big sister today. And I'm talking about my oldest sister. And the reason that I called my oldest sister is because my middle sister was telling me that my older sister was struggling. She was struggling with some things. And, you know, so I called her to, you know, see what was going on and see if there's anything I could do to help and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, she's having some physical challenges right now. Some things have changed in her life and she has to make a lifestyle change. And so, you know, dealing with that, you know, change is not an easy thing to do. Routine is easy, even when the routine is bad, because it's a routine and because you don't have to think about it, it becomes easy. Even if it's negative, even if it's not a good thing, like overeating, like drug use, like gambling, like shopping, like overspending, you know, shit like that. But anyway, so I called her And you know what she said? She said, you know what, Omar, man? She said, Omar, 2024 has been a bitch. And I said, I'm not the type that really likes to blame the year, because every year we have to struggle with something. We lose people, we lose celebrities, you know, we get a little bit older, we have to accept things that we don't like. A whole lot of shit goes on. A whole lot of shit goes on. And dealing with that whole lot of shit, when she said 2024, I got to thinking, like, I lost my uncle, I lost my best friend, a friend of mine died yesterday, some other people that I was real cool with online, yeah, they done passed. I done lost 2 in the last couple of months. So there's been a lot of death, but there's also been some good things that have happened. Some awakenings that I've come. I mean, you know, I tried to impress upon her that every year we go through some shit. You're having some difficulties this year. And we, as a family unit, we all are, because my mom is going through some shit. You know, she's dealing with some things, and we have to deal with that with her. And that's not going the way that we want it to go. So I kind of understood, but I don't want her to fall into the whole, you know, I don't want her to fall into no type of depression or none of that shit and all that. Because sometimes when we're going through it, when the load gets really heavy, we forget some of the good things that are happening. We forget some of the good people that are coming through looking out. We forget. We fail to remember. And it's a dangerous position to get into, getting down in the dumps. So sometimes people have to remind you, like, what about like when you hit the big 4 last month? Because they might have actually forgot about that shit. Or maybe what they're going through in the current state has overshadowed any good fortune that they have had. So I reminded her, I said, nah, I said, so this is what we're going to do. And this is something I want to impress upon you. It's me and my 2 sisters, we grew up together. Same mom, same dad. And so even though I have other brothers and sisters, they are my family. They are my nuclear family unit. We grew up in the same house. We saw each other grow up. We helped each other. And now it's time for us to help each other again. So with her health challenges, I said, you know what, listen, let's do this. Because I told her I was thinking about her, and I had already discussed this with my middle sister. I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we all commit to a health regimen and support each other? We can develop meal plans. We can develop exercises for each other, monitor each other. Even if we can't meet personally, we can get on Zoom or whatever, do our exercises, make sure that they're getting done, remind each other to keep going, motivate each other, affirm each other. I said, why don't we do that? We've done everything else when we were in trouble individually. Well, why don't we do something collectively and keep ourselves out of trouble? Why don't we do that? And over the phone, I could hear my big sis light up like, okay, yeah, let's do that. So it doesn't always take a big thing to get you out of a funk. Not all the time. Not all the time. But we're going to try that. We have each other. Each other is what we have. So why don't we fuel each other, educate each other, help each other, push each other, encourage each other? Well, we're going to do that. And I would encourage y'all to do the same thing with your peoples, whether they're your blood family, your friends, or whatever. We don't have to go to a support group. We can make our own support group. We can even do that here if y'all interested in doing something like that. I've always been very concerned about my health my whole life. I've been a hypochondriac my whole life, always thinking something was wrong with me. And guess what? I've never had any kind of serious illness or no shit like that. Luck of the draw, maybe. Maybe it's in the future. You never know. But I've tried to take care of myself. Even when I was tearing myself down, drinking and shit like that, I still tried to take care of myself. So I know I've inspired other people through the things that I've done. Well, but fuck that shit. Let's make it real. Let's not make it so personal. So when we talking about, well, and I was glad that my big sis didn't try to keep the way that she was feeling to herself. I'm glad she didn't try to hide that. I'm glad she didn't try to keep that in the tuck. I'm glad she didn't try to just deal with it herself, her and her husband. I'm glad that she let us know what was going on. Because she knows she has to make changes in her life. It's not an option. Because she don't like to be sick either. And she don't have to be. But you know how it is when you've enjoyed a healthy life all your life, and now you have to actually try. It's like, man. But it's going to be all right. Let me see. Let me see. V says hell is a dimension of reality, not so far away from this one. I have been to some dark places. Most of the things that I've been through, I've never spoken of. I don't judge other people. I can dig it. Oh, you don't judge other people's beliefs? Some people say that if you don't take Jesus as your savior, then you are going to hell. They actually experience what they are talking about. They wouldn't wish it upon their worst enemy. I'm grateful for the terrible things. I'm grateful for the terrible things, though. I have grown more as a person. It makes me appreciate the heights I have attained too. I'm feeling that. A118 100. Sorry to hear about your friend yesterday. I mean, thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, condolences to his family. You know, he had children. He had young children. Like, that shit crazy. Bloodfart says, those bad days can ruin lives. Choices all day, every day. No doubt. Kevin Mackin says, no gracias. That's too much meal plans. Nah, you can never eat two right. Kevin says, never going to actually work. Oh yeah? Shit. I know how to lose weight. Kevin Mackin says, it's just that throughout, it's just the thought that counts. I dare you to call your big sister and ask her how her meal plan is going. We haven't done it yet. I talked to her today. So we haven't done the meal plan. But I bet you one thing. I don't know how people in your life get down, but people in my life don't fuck around. They don't. My big sis is strong. My middle sister is strong. And I'm strong. Now, I've cut a lot of things out of my life, cold turkey, and never went back. Alcohol, I stopped drinking December 8th, 2012. And I stopped drinking while I was drunk. While I was drunk, I decided I wasn't drinking no motherfucking more. And I never took another sip of alcohol after that. Ever. Never even thought about it or wanted to. Ever. I stopped eating pork in 1989. I don't remember the date. Why? Because I decided that I didn't want to eat pork anymore. Never had pork again voluntarily. People done snuck it in me, like in greens and beans and shit like that. But voluntarily never did it. When something is bad for me, I'm not fucking around. That's that. I have my time in the sun, but when it's time to When it's time to let go, I'm letting all the way go. So, I mean, I don't have to validate myself to you. I mean, I could say you'll see, but you actually won't because you won't get that report. But it's all good. You know, I don't really like to, I don't like to get into a whole lot of negativity about when it comes to health and when it comes to advancement. You know what I mean? Because you have the power to make yourself better or worse. And you also make that choice every day to make yourself better or to make yourself worse. You don't always acknowledge it. Everybody doesn't always acknowledge it, but it's there. All right, Blood Fart says, hey, old guy, you know Morgan Freeman? Anyway, Caesarism is order. Hey, yo, you ain't strong. You can't even squat 500. You right, I can't squat 500. But I'll tell you what, never wanted to either. I hate squats. They suck. I mean, I don't like leg exercises, period. But I wouldn't even want to bench 500. I'm 54 years old. How I'm gonna look trying to bench some 500? Like, for what? For what? So I can be the old head that can bench 500? Is that gonna put money in my pocket? Is it gonna keep a roof over my head? Is it gonna take care of my family? My baby girl, my daughter, just started college last week. She doing all right. If I bench 500, is it going to pay her tuition? I have the means to pay her tuition. I'm very proud of that. And I sure didn't do it by squatting 500 or benching 500. I can definitely bench a lot, but I don't need to get 500 because it's a personal thing. Six Area says, this dude can't lift weights. He ain't strong. I am so strong. These ain't BBL muscles. These are real muscles. Matter of fact, fuck you. You suck. I bet you don't have no muscles. You said, why won't this dude fight me one-on-one? Run the fade? I'll come through. I'll fight anybody that tries to harm me, and I'll win. Chris Robo says, I have no discipline. You have discipline. That's funny. That's a funny thing you say, you have no discipline, because I was talking to my big sis about that. I was like, if you have discipline in one area, you can get it in another area. If you can, you know how some people have a problem waking up in the morning, like they push their snooze bar time and time again. They set their clock 10, 20 minutes faster, so it seems like they get more sleep. And then, you know, some people have no problem getting up in the morning. You know, like me. In the times that I use an alarm, I got right the fuck up. Like, don't be fucking around. It's time to go. Women that I've dealt with, they was always amazed about that. Like, you get right up with your alarm. Like, yeah, that's what I set it for. But my point is, if you can discipline yourself to go to work every day, to do your work every day, to stay out of trouble, whatever it is that you are regimented is, you can take that same energy and put it towards something else that you need. But everybody doesn't think that way because they're not always thought to think that way. But it's a fact. So you have discipline. You just have to channel it and get it where you want to get it. Lebanon Country Bale says, it doesn't matter if you have muscle, if you have strong muscles. It doesn't matter to who. It matters to me. It does. It matters to me. Now, if you're saying that strong muscles won't help you win a fight, I mean, that might be true. Might not be true. Because you can sustain more damage and maybe you have more stamina than somebody who doesn't have the same type of muscle mass that you have. So just by the sheer will to stay in the fight, you might be able to outlast them. A lot of people who get in street fights ain't trying to be fighting a long time. I've never seen a street fight last more than a couple of seconds. But not even a few minutes. People on the street can't fight. That's why you put them in a boxing ring, just being able to keep their arms up. That shit ain't easy. It ain't easy. Especially when you haven't done it. You're not trained to do it and you don't even understand it. Most people can't even duck a punch or hit a moving object. But they'll tell you, I can fight. No, you can't, motherfucker. You mean you can hit. You might be able to hit. And being able to hit does not mean that you can fight. There's a big difference. Harry F. Bright says, I see you. And I want to know what you feel. Okay. Kevin says, I believe you will. I mean, why would you even come on here talking about fighting? Like, what is wrong with motherfuckers, man? Like, what? I mean, the internet, man, is a lonely place. It is. It's sad sometimes. It is. You got millions of motherfuckers that don't have anything constructive to do with their time. I don't know. Unk this way says, man, you're kind of scary. Nah, I'm not. I ain't scared nobody. Harry says, if it's heavy, can you talk about it? If it's heavy, then can you talk about it? If it's nothing, then I was wrong. God's love for those who want to express it. I feel that. Kevin says, but for real, I hate waking up when I don't feel like it. I mean, you gotta go make that bacon, man. You gotta go get that cake. You know what I'm saying? Like, even jobs that I didn't like, I got my ass up and went and I gotta go get this paper. Ain't no use in bullshitting. Ain't no cloud gonna come over my room and say, you don't have to go to work today. We took care of it. Ain't nothing. You got to make it happen. You have to make it happen. So all that procrastinating and bitching and all that kind of shit, that ain't helping nothing. But think about that. If you can get good at something, bad, then you can turn that around and get good at something good. But practicing negativity, that ain't getting you nowhere. That ain't doing shit for you. But digging a deeper hole for you to have to climb yourself up out of. Yeah. And I ain't one of those crazy positive, rose-colored glasses type dude. I'm actually a cynic. I deal with reality. I don't deal with fantasy. I don't fuck with no fantasy. It's almost something that I wish I could deal with, but this shit is counterproductive to me. You know what I mean? Wasting your time with what can't be, what might be able to be done. How about let's do something that can be done today? Let's go out and complete something, because it does something to this. It does something to your mind when you complete things, when you get things over with. It helps you. The same way that it doesn't help you when you keep putting things off, when you keep fucking around, when you keep procrastinating, when you keep making excuses, when you keep ducking out on people, when you keep standing people up, when you keep making promises that you don't keep. It does something to you. It keeps bringing you down. the same way to completing things and keeping your word and promising yourself that you'll do better and actually doing it. It raises you up. It helps you to ascend. It elevates you. All right. Harry says most people are missing a part of their life. Can we reach them is the question. Anybody can be reached. You know, your energy has to align with theirs in some kind of way. But everybody, you know how they say everybody has a price? Well, everybody has that. Everybody has energy that can be tapped into. Everybody has a magic button that if you get, you know, if you can find out a person's motivation for doing things that they do, you don't need to know shit else about them. You know everything you need to know. If you can find out why a person does what they do, like the deep meaning, like what really compels you to do what you do, you got it. You got it. You know everything about them that you need to know. But that's a quest. It's not an easy thing to do. A man really knows his woman when he understands why she does what she does. A woman really knows her man when she knows why he does what he does. And they will be together for an awfully long time if they can accept and appreciate why they do what they do. But we don't always think about that. This is not hard. I'm not going to give you the hard math to do. I'm going to give you the easy math. But we've been so busy skipping over the easy shit because we think it doesn't have any value. We've been taught that if it was easy, nobody would want it. That it's got to be hard in order to have some value. And that's wrong. We're dead wrong about that. Listen, man, we was talking about pretending like you're not sick or you're not hurt. That's the same way as pretending that you know something that you don't know. How many of y'all have been in a classroom and got called on in class and you was unprepared? You didn't know the material. You got called to the chalkboard and you didn't know the answer. Or maybe you had to sit right there at your desk. You didn't even raise your hand, but the teacher noticed that you were never raising your hand, so she called on you. What's the answer? Or what do you think? And you didn't have shit. So you were trying to fly under the radar. That's the same way as people do when they pretend that they're not sick, pretend that they're not hurt. I want to go back to what I was talking about earlier in the show. In the beginning of the show, I was talking about how men are conditioned to act like they're not hurt, to pretend that they're not in pain, to pretend that they didn't get their feelings hurt or that they have emotions other than anger and frustration, because those are the acceptable male emotions. But here's the thing. I was talking about how there's so many females, women, single mothers raising our children, trying to educate our babies, trying to get them to adulthood. And they're doing it all by themselves. And they're being blamed by men for being single mothers. They're being blamed for being single mothers. What we doing? What we doing, y'all? What's good? What's good? So now single mothers are having to pretend that they're okay with being single mothers, that they're okay not having a husband or a life partner or somebody that they can love, that believes in them, that will help them, that will breathe some life into them. They have to act like it's okay. And they also have to act like they don't have a problem with being a single parent. And men are blaming them for it. You know, back in the day, We blame men for not being there for their children. Now we blaming the women for choosing the wrong men. Well, goddamn. Catch 22. Bait and switch. Chuck Dwyer, what's good? Cesaria says, this guy is scared of white men and it shows. You're right. White men scare me to death. Ah! White men! Ah! Yeah. You got me pegged. You got me on that one. As a matter of fact, let me exercise. I'm going to have to exercise some of the white men out of my life. White men, I hate to have to do this to you. I hate to have to do this to you, white men, but I'm going to have to deal with my fears. White men. 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 Please don't come and take my crib, white man. I gotta stay where I stand. Please, white man, don't make me bow down. Don't make my whole family frown. Please, white men, leave me alone. I only trying to get a crib of my own. White man, don't take me out. Yo, let me live this thing. Let me ride it out. White man, don't do me wrong. Don't have to make me make the lyrics of this song. White man, please. I said, white man, please don't make me have to get on my knees. I said, white man, what's going on? Yo, he said, I was scared of white men in the song. He said that white man, to be honest, I'm scared of the white man. Well, I gotta get the white man away from me. I don't know what to do. Yo, somebody see me through this whole trials and tribulations. I'm trying to get through this shit, but I'm feeling frustration. White man, yo, what we gonna do? Yo, I see a white man and he coming through. What? How he get into my crib? Know where I live. Got this dibs on my family and my kids. White man. White man. White man. Oh shit, I thought I saw a white man. Whew. Sheesh. Whew. Oh man. You know, that's a different spin. I have never been accused of being afraid of a white man. I've never heard of that before. Normally, they think that black men are chasing around white women. I never heard them being afraid of white men. That's a new, yo, you have brought something new to the table. That's some new shit. New shit. All right. All right. All right. All right. Fighting at our age, though, unnecessary it is. Fuck out of here. Unc This Way says, Harry, what do you mean? You want to know what he feel perfect? I know, right? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nah, fuck that. Whites are the best team, to be honest. Everyone knows. Okay. I didn't know white men were a team. Harry says, getting paper is righteous, but what do you want and feel? YouTube is asking for weirdos, who are lost, and you have a voice. I hear that, man. I hear that. Harry says, I got the Lord helping me. That's what's up. On the Hunt says, are you accepting calls? Yes. 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-52. As a matter of fact, yeah, let's do that. Yes, call 319-527. Let me put it in the chat. I got you. 319-527-6199. There you go. Call in. Don't hesitate. The lines are open. We clear. We good. We good. Yo, for all the good white men that might have been offended, sorry, y'all. Y'all were collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? You know how it go. John, aka Japreem says, peace, God, peace to you. Peace to you, God. On the Hunt says, is waffle stomping a spiritual or emotional response to trauma? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Somebody Google that. Rob S says, you're an N. Oh, I'm sure the N stands for nice person. That's what's up. Harry says, I'm half Navajo Nation, so I'm kind of tired of this YouTube hate. Hate is not the way of peace. Man, we're going to have to deal with this hate. Listen, if you are anywhere brown, you're going to have to deal with this hate, man. All in with Andre K. I'm mute. Can I use my hold on. Can I use my voice? No, I'm not accepting that because that's gonna seem like some spam shit. All right, we have a call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 9223. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, I was just curious. I've been watching you for quite a while, and I've been going through a couple things, and I oftentimes feel that your positive messages resonate a lot with what I'm trying to do with my life. And then I see a lot of the negative comments on your YouTube. So I'm curious, how do you rise above what it is that you see on the YouTube?
Well, YouTube is not my life. You know, the good thing about the internet, whether it's social media, YouTube, or anything, is you can log off. Now, if you were here in person, I can't log you off. I can't hide my image from you. I can't only show you a portion of my profile or anything like that. I mean, we can turn each other off. And I exercise my right to do that. Not only that, but I don't have to pay attention to everything that people say to me or say around me. Most of the things that people say about me, I don't know about because I'm not in those circles where they're doing it. So this is I don't really like to give out advice, but I'll tell you, I'll give you a suggestion of how I maintain much of my sanity. I pledge to myself not to indulge or engage in any behavior that does not make me feel good about myself. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's children. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's a crime. I don't care if it's love. If it doesn't make me feel good about myself, I'm not doing it. So that also crosses over into the things that I say to people. You know how, especially like in the comments section of social media platforms, like YouTube included, You know, there are a lot of
Yeah.
times, or people will come in to my chat, and they want to say things that hurt your feelings, or that will get a rise out of you. And I've always wondered, what are you getting out of that? If you make somebody feel bad with the things that you said to them, what do you get? What's your prize?
For me,
So
it's honestly being able to talk to someone who is able to rise above it. And I'm looking for another example of how I can be a part of that solution instead of the problem. And when I watch your YouTube videos, I oftentimes feel a sense of relief because there's a lot of people who just want to be angry. And I've experienced that in my workplace. I've experienced that with family members who are going through addiction. And I've experienced that with not only that, but even myself in my weakest moments. So when I watch your videos, I find it very, I guess if I can be honest, I find it very revealing because for me, I'm looking for a better way to not only impact my community, but I feel like you're part of the solution. I don't feel like you're part of the problem. So when I called you, I was kind of hoping to kind of get your take on that. And I honestly feel that you've demonstrated that through countless examples of your live YouTube videos and then your YouTube uploads. So it to me was very interesting because there might be a lot of people who kind of feel voiceless, who probably aren't as strong as you, or maybe who aren't as upfront as you, and they want to emulate that same kind of positive reinforcement. But it can be hard when the world seems to be kind of so cold, if I can be so cold.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. And my dad always taught me, he always taught me way before I started doing this. He told me that the camera is always on you. The things that you say, people won't forget them. The things that you do, people won't forget it. So, you know, when going back to what I was talking about, when I say I don't like to do things, or I refuse to do things at this time that don't make me feel good about myself. I'm not going to say things to people to hurt their feelings intentionally. I'm not going to proactively. I will always defend myself, but I never want to be offensive to other people. I don't want to make a victim out of somebody who doesn't deserve to be a victim. So even in my retaliation with certain people, I watch the things that I say, because I know that without knowing it, I'm the type of person that can hurt a person's feelings. So I have to be careful about the things that I say. I have to be careful about the impact that it may have on somebody. And I try to do that, because if I just try to insult you, or you know how some people say, people just don't like me because I tell the truth. Well, it's not always your business to be the truth teller. It's not always your job. Most of the time, it's not your job to be the revealer, or the whistleblower, or the person who what's the word I'm looking for? The one that basically the one that
Who emulates?
No. I'm saying, like, you know how some people claim that people are just mad at them because they told the truth about something, not necessarily understanding that the truth comes in more forms than just telling on somebody, or hurting somebody's feelings, or harping on the negative traits of somebody. There's more truth to that. The same way I can say that, you know, your body odor is offensive. That may be true. It also may be true that you're very good at math, or that you're friendly or funny or a decent person. Those are truths too. But those aren't the things that blow the lid off of things. You know what I mean? We through social media, we have become addicted to hurting people. We've become addicted to seeing people hurt. That's the only truth that we know nowadays. But I refuse to accept that. So I watch the things that I say. I watch my mouth, and I don't see anything wrong with watching your mouth. But there was a time when I was younger, and I didn't think it was necessary to watch the things that I say. But I had to learn better. So
I have one last question.
Oh, sure.
Where do you get the strength to be so bold and be so honest with a lot of your male audience? Because I've been trying to change not only my own ways, but I've been trying to be the change that I want to see. And you know, I'm a pretty bad addict. I've gotten sober, and I've quit my nefarious and sinful ways. And a lot of times, I really don't feel like I can be the one to tell other people, you know, this is what's right. So I'm curious, how do you, I guess I should probably ask, how do you end up emulating that change to be the kind of person who you want to see be in the community? Because there's quite a few of us who, you know, if I'm being honest, I really don't feel like I'm someone who can really lecture others. But when I watch your YouTube videos, it helps me feel like I want to not only change myself, but I would like to get that message out there. So how do you do that? How do you reach out to other people without sacrificing what it is you're trying to do?
Well, I don't think I'm so great. I think I'm good at what I do, but I practice. I do this show every day. So if you ever go on my channel and you watch the videos from years ago, you'll see that I've had to improve over time. You know what I mean? I've had to go back, watch some shit. You know, some things I still don't do right. But honestly, I think that you're gifted with the same ability. Not too many people can call into a show and express their thoughts with clarity the way that you're doing. You could actually do this. But, you know,
no, I think I just represent a lot of people who they've really fucked up their life, and they want to be a part of the change. And I see a lot of the hate, and I can honestly recognize how I felt, you know, 6 months or a year ago, and it's just not something that I want to do anymore. So I guess I was calling you because you seem like you know, I guess this might be one of the weaker points that I'm trying to make, but it's just kind of hard for me to get out there. I don't really talk to people very much. I don't reach out. I would never think about starting a YouTube channel. I don't feel like that's something I would ever do. And a lot of the stuff you're saying is like really positive, and a lot of the hate that you receive, you deflect it in such a way that I'm probably going to steal a couple of your lines, maybe later on at work when I'm getting harassed, or maybe in my own life when I'm feeling kind of low and there's no one around and I'm going to be talking to myself. I kind of feel like there's a lot of people who might understand what I'm talking about when, you know, they're by themselves and they watch these YouTube channels, and they're not willing to talk to other people, because I know I'm not willing to talk to other people. I just kind of called you on a whim because I was going through something. So just kind of seemed like it wasn't a bad idea. So I was just curious, like, how do you build that community up? Like how can we? I don't know, man. You know, I guess I feel kind of lost. Even just talking to you about it kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know, man. I think that you express yourself really well. I think, you know, it's not easy. I mean, people have called into this show and they've struggled to get their thoughts together. You actually do it pretty well. But I think that it's important to always keep your focus on what you really want. And you have to know if you really want something or not. You have to really know if you want something or not. Sometimes we get caught up in wanting things for ourselves that other people want for us. And sometimes we're called selfish for really wanting and going after the things that we really want. But you have to stay focused. Nobody, you know, I wouldn't give listen, I've done this show when I would finish a show and we only had 20 people, 20 views, 25 views, and it was consistent for years. But I knew what I wanted, and I knew that one day it would break. And it started to happen. You know, some things I had to learn some things. Maybe there's a little bit of luck. Maybe I found the algorithm or whatever, but I knew that it was important for me to keep my focus on the matter at hand and go for what I wanted. And if I allow somebody who doesn't know me, doesn't care about me, doesn't understand my vision or my purpose, if I allow them to come and heckle, let me put it this way. If you can be heckled out of your dreams, then that wasn't a real dream. That wasn't a dream. You understand what I'm saying? You know, your dreams don't really care about the characters that are in it. And neither do your nightmares. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to choose the cast of your dreams or your nightmares. And nightmares are dreams too. So, my suggestion for anybody who's experiencing what you're experiencing, and by the way, I really appreciate, you know, your kind words and your affirmation. I do. But everybody has a piece of whatever I do or whatever good you see in me, you have that in you, and everyone has that in them too. But they have to learn how to bring it out. They have to choose their own audience. Everybody doesn't have to sit in front of this camera or a microphone or anything. That's not for everybody. Just like everybody isn't meant to be a doctor or a superstar or something like that. Whatever you choose to do, make sure that that's what you want to do and give it all you got. Give it all you got. You know, but like I said, if you can be heckled out of your dream, then that wasn't for you. You know what I mean? How can somebody that doesn't know you, doesn't care about you, and only really wants to, you know, see a reaction for themselves out of you, how can you allow them to take you off your square? They're a non-factor. Because I do this show every day. So every night I'm going to be back. Will they be back every night? Think about it. If they're back every night to try to knock me off, then they're getting more out of this than just trying to knock me off. You know? So, yeah, man, don't let your I don't encourage anybody to attract haters, but definitely don't congratulate them and don't encourage them. Don't encourage them.
I never thought about it like that, but I don't want to waste anybody else's time. I'm still out of my comfort zone, if I'm being honest. Like, I actually really appreciate everything you said, because for the first time in a while, I feel like I haven't been just seen, but I feel like I've been heard. So I don't want to take away from your live setup. So
well, I want you to know.
I just wanted to say,
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but before you go, because I don't know how fast you want to hang up, I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you calling in. And actually, I can use what you said way more than you may know. It's not about the compliments or anything like that, but it's important for me to know how I affect other people because you don't always know. You can't. I can't see anybody. I can see what you write, but I can only take what you give me. So when somebody like you calls in and actually and explains in details what they actually get out of this thing, then I get it more. Now, the way you feel may not be the way that everybody else feels, but I appreciate you at least giving me some insight into what I may be, what kind of energy I may be putting out there, because I didn't expect I didn't think that anybody really thought I was, positive or anything like that. Maybe they figured I had pockets of positivity or whatever. Maybe they thought I had some good ideas every now and then, but you never know how you affect people. And that's why it's important for you to be cognizant of the way that you treat people. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you a lot for calling in.
Thanks, man. I didn't really think about it like that. I just kind of felt a little selfish about digging into my own BS. And after hearing you talk about that, I kind of have a different outlook on, what it is that I've been thinking about myself and what it is I've been thinking about my own take on life. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go now. But like I said, I really appreciate you doing the live streams, and I just really enjoy watching them. And I hope that if there's somebody else that feels like me, I can understand how you feel, but at the same time, if you don't at least try to talk to someone or break out of that, then you're probably never gonna find yourself in a better position. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you, brother.
All right, well, have a good night, man.
You too.
And thanks again. Good call. Good call. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy calling into a show and putting your thoughts, verbally putting your thoughts out there like that. That was actually a spectacular call. I mean, it is. It's not everybody can. Look, we can. You know how people who will text, but they won't talk. We have these phones, and the phones were made for talking on. But some people won't talk on the phone, because when you talk on the phone, you have to deal with the energy that's coming out of the phone, and you have to put more energy into the phone. Some people choose to text because you can play tennis, you can play verbal gymnastics or tricks, not verbal. I'm sorry, mental gymnastics and chess with text messages. Okay, they said that. Well, then now I'll say this, but it's not like that when you talk to somebody verbally, because you have to deal with, nobody can see you when you're texting. They don't see the smirk you have on your face or the surprise you have on your face. They can't see that. And over the phone, they can't see it either, but they can feel it. It's a different kind of energy. You know what I mean? There's a difference between watching a game and being in a game. You know how I was watching football tonight. I was watching the Eagles play the Green Bay Packers. EAGLES, Eagles, and we won. But when you watch a football game, and anybody who has never played football always wonders, how come when they run the ball, why do they always run up the middle? Why don't they go around the side? See, on TV, you only see the angle that you can see the angles that you can't actually see on the field. So you don't understand why they design plays in real time, up close and personal. So when you're actually at the game, you see why they ran it up the middle instead of around the side, or this side instead of the other side, or how come they passed it. there's a difference between watching the game and actually being in the game. Text messages is watching the game. Talking to somebody is being in the game. And a lot of people try to skip that part nowadays. Now, we're moving farther and farther away. We have more modes of communication than we ever had, but we're using it less or more destructively than we ever did before. So once again, I want to thank the caller for calling in, and because without, I don't know if he knows it or not, but he actually educated me tonight. Biggie says, do you think the father should be charged? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. You talking about that shooter down in Georgia, maybe? Oh, is it? I don't know. Shout out to all of my condolences to all of the victims of that shooting that went on down in Georgia. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But yeah, listen, I guess we're about to get out of here pretty soon. Man, we was talking about pretending that you're not sick or hurt. It's not a good position to be in. There's nothing worse than having to act like you're not hurt when you're hurt. You ever have an ankle injury? You know what you can't do with an ankle injury or a knee injury? You know what you can't do? Walk like you don't have an ankle injury or a knee injury. You can't do it. You can't do it. You cannot do it. But you can always act like the pain isn't as bad as, it isn't as bad as it really is or whatever. And for whatever reason, you might feel like hiding your pain. But hiding your pain actually makes it hurt a little bit more. Because you know what happens when you hide your pain? When you hide your pain, you also may shy away from treating your pain. Or you may over-medicate to try to dull your pain or ease your pain or try to get rid of the symptoms of your condition. Oh, so Biggie, you were talking about with the shooting down in Georgia, should the parents be charged? I think the father, I don't see any way that the father's not going to be charged or something, because it was his guns. And he said something about the son had never had unsupervised access to the guns, and he did. So, normally when a violent crime is committed by a minor, and the guy the kid was 14 years old. What we doing? But he had threatened to shoot people when he was 13, and they sort of blew it off. So they gotta have a fall guy. They gotta have a scapegoat besides that kid. But people are dead because of this shit. So I don't know if they're going to charge the father, but I don't think he's going to walk away unscathed. But you ask me if I think he should be charged. Short answer, yes. Long answer,
90 seconds.
Not necessarily. But it's fucked up. It's a tragic event. I want to say, first of all, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We would normally have a show tomorrow, which is more like today, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if we're going to have a show today because I have some things I have to do tomorrow or today. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to fit in the show. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit a show in. So we'll be back on Sunday. We'll definitely have a show on Sunday. I don't think we're going to have it tomorrow, but you never know. If for those of y'all who get up or whatever, if you're on YouTube or whatever, or if you get a notification, come on through. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious September 6th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Dwayne Henson. Happy birthday to you, my brother. And also missionary. Wait a minute. Shania James. Happy birthday to you. And Felicia Galliard. Happy birthday to you. And also Barbara Cherie Kellum. Happy birthday to you. And Orlando Green. Happy birthday to you. And Mo Harmony. Happy birthday, Mo. Kalita Key. Happy birthday to you. And Brenda Robinson. Happy birthday. And Natalie Henderson, happy birthday. And Jewel Harris, happy birthday. And Jean Macklin, happy birthday. And last but not least, my cousin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my girl, Gabrielle Humphrey. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious September 6th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember. Go hard, go for yours, and remember. I said, go hard, go for yours, and remember. Yeah. What? Oh man, V, you came through with the super cheers. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Mucho. I'm gonna get at that. We gonna handle that. We gonna handle that. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man. Listen, yo, trying to hide your hurt, trying to hide your pain. That shit will put you in a bigger strain. Yeah, you can act like somebody didn't give you a gut shot, but that shit feels much hot. And it makes you feel like you should buckle, and maybe you don't want to go down, but yo, inside out, that shit is hurting, and you want to yell out, but you think everybody's going to call you a sellout, like you a little punk pussy bitch, but it ain't like that shit. Everybody got to go through it, and that means you, him, the next man, girl, man, woman, and child. Shit is kind of wild. Why should I have to act like I never got hurt? Everybody goes through that shit. Gotta put in work. Yeah, I had a girl that I loved a lot, and she treated me like a nigga wasn't hot. And I felt like, yo, I'm the god, I'm the king. Why she treat me like I ain't nothing? But I had to eat it, had to take it on the chin. But it made me feel real bad that I didn't win. But I told my friend, yo, it ain't nothing. I ain't really like her that much. Yeah, she wasn't all that. But he knew that deep down in his side, I wanted to be with her and hit her, and I didn't want to quit her, and I didn't want to have to let her let me go, but I had to deal with that shit, because what I reap, I sow. And now here I am, still hurting over that incident. Yeah, and you know how it hit. I meant to be the thing that crushed the God, but I got back on my shit, and you know I was going to ride. Well, I have to go through. You got to go through what you got to go through. It's going to be all right because it's a new day. Well, let's get to these drums. Yes, that's what I'll say. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because my man gave me a super chat. My peoples gave me a super chat. And I ain't going to discount it like it ain't about that. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it like this. Good looking out, my peoples. Thanks for coming on through. I'll see y'all Sunday if tomorrow I can't do. So you know how it go. Hit the like button if you like. If you don't like that shit, well, go ahead, take a hike. All right, y'all. Peace. Once again, peace to all my day ones. My everydays and my brand news. Everything is going to be all right, man. Y'all do the damn thing. Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. All right, it's time for me to clock out so I can take off my uniform. Y'all can take off y'all uniform. I don't know if for those of y'all who didn't know that y'all was wearing y'all shit. Hold on, let me show y'all. Let me show you how we get down. That's you. That's what y'all was looking like tonight. Not the picture, the necklace. That's you with the necklace on. Good shit. But now y'all can take your uniform off. We can clock out, go home, feed our families, watch a little TV, do a little dance, make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate you. One.